I just want to know some those steps which have to strictly we have to take to reduce these homelessness.
मेरे दादा पैदल चलते थे, मेरे पापा बाइक से चलने लगे और मैं अभी आराम से लैम्बोर्गिनी में चल रहा हूँ। मेरा बेटा उससे भी अपग्रेडेड कार में चलेगा, मेरा पोता फिर से पैदल चलने लगेगा। That is the main problem. So young generations don't understand the pain and the struggle of the old generation or the previous generation. That is a big problem. That is a big challenge. कि अब people come in rain बसेरा, they misuse it. Misuse it. खाया वहीं थूक दिया, वहीं फेंक दिया, वहीं कुछ कर दिया, आग लगा दिया, जला दिया, कंबल उठाया, भाग गया. तो people, it's the fault of the people first of all. Another point is that जब people इस तरीके से करने लगते हैं, government also gets very lazy.
Sir, how can we tell the general public about the struggle of those people who are homeless? So hello, good evening everyone. We are here back now with our new segment that is I just want you to imagine the situation like that. If what happened that you don't have a roof on your head, what will you do? You can't even imagine that situation, and so many peoples in our world, in our India, in our country living in that situation. If I talk about the stats, like 1.77 million people of our country are homeless right now. It means 0.5% of Indian population are homeless. And if I talk about the worldwide scenario, so I think it is 177 million peoples who don't have their home. So we are here right now to talk about the situation that what happens when someone don't have a roof. So I just wanted to welcome our prestige guest, Mr. Abdullah sir,
Thank you so much, Simran.
who is with us to answer some questions, to face our questions. So without delaying our segment, just let's start our segment with some questions with some interesting facts. So hello sir.
Hi, first of all, Simran, thank you so much to introduce me and just to tell the facts and data about this, without shelter or people living in India or in the world without shelters. Thank you so much.
Sir, actually, first question I just wanted to ask you that what are the main causes of addressing homelessness? And homelessness is increasing day by day. What are the main causes of it?
First of all, I would like to quote this can be one of the most irritating quote or statement as well. I can say hike or spike in the population that is causing homelessness. That is one of the reasons. In case, what is the situation of Maharashtra now? What is the situation of Mumbai? If you talk about the Dharavi slum, so you will find that there are so many jhuggies and jhoplis and huts, which is very small and congested. When I went there, I saw how a person goes like this street to that street. It was very confusing, It was like a zig, 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 zig. So I came to know that, oh, what is the population of Dharavi? Dharavi population is quite high. That's why they are adjusting their lives in this same way. Now, if I ask you a question, if you go back and back and backward to Bihar and UP, you will find no one homeless. Or you will find very rare homeless people. But in city, in urban areas, you will find more homeless people. Why? Because the population, there is a spike in the population. So first of all, I could say that spike in the population. Another thing is that I will tell you many reasons and I will give the opportunity to ask more questions. Another reason may be that, lack of education and awareness is also one of the reasons. For example, if somebody is living without shelter, somebody is living without, home, or he has or she has homelessness, he or she has not that vision to build a home or to get a home. It's fine. My life is going. It's all right. I'm passing my life.
Right.
I have no dream, no job. That's one of the mindset is also the reason.
So how the rural area situation and urban area situation, that kind of sites are, how they are different?
They are different in different ways or different terms. Now, let's move to the village areas or rural areas. Most of the people have their own properties. Most of the people.
Yeah.
But some of the people, they don't have their property. But if I ask you a question that in rural areas, you will not be finding even 1% population living on the rent or in the rented house.
Right.
कि मैं किराए पे रह लूँ 3,000 दे दूंगी 2,000 दे दूंगी. They don't live in rented house. But in urban areas, they live in rented house. In case if their job is gone, so they will be without home because tenants or the owners will ask for the rent. Give me the rent, give me the rent. In rural areas, what is the situation? In rural areas, if they don't have proper shelters, they go somewhere, they take the raw or the desert land and they make a jhuggi or jhopli or madai, which is called shanty, and they start living under that very small shanty or very small karkat type of house. They make it, but still that will not be called home. That will be also called homelessness.
Yeah.
In rural areas, there are situations, but in urban areas, there are more chances of homelessness because the living lifestyle is costlier in urban areas than rural areas.
Yeah, exactly. So, if I talk about this, like, I think approximately 150 around people just like don't have a sufficient or they are living in a inadequate housing. So, what are the reason of
150 million or
Yeah.
Okay. Simple. In case what we say roti, kapda and makan, right? What we say food, and then we say cloth, and then we say shelter. Everybody gets food. Food is must and food is important. Without food, nobody can survive in this
Yeah.
world. So food is just important to survive. That's fine. Cloth is also important to cover the body. Now, the biggest point is that if I ask to you that what is the extreme requirement of a human body, you will say food and water. So at any cost or in any situation, they manage to get the food and water.
Right.
But even they don't think of the house. Thinking is, again, I told about the mindset. People living at the footpath, they beg the alms, they collect the money for their food and cloth, but they don't collect the money for their house. And even if they collect the money for their houses, they don't have a dream of making that because they want to be without the shelter. Because if they think if they have the shelter, they will be surrender, and if they surrender once, their mindset will be stopped of begging Allah ke naam pe or Bhagwan ke naam pe de dega. So that is why what we need to understand, it is all about mindset, and they don't have that expectation or that dream. And there are also some societal, social faults and government faults we will discuss on this.
So accordingly, just as you said that their mindset kind of. So as we know that on the footpath, so many people are living there, and to earn money, to earn a livelihood, so many of them are used to go on a path of illegal way just to earn money. So how can we change their mental stability? And how is the homelessness is the reason that they are doing this?
To change their mental stability or to change their mindset, we have to change their lifestyle. Take a person, he has, for example, he has crore rupees, and take his money, take his all money, take his all houses, take his all capacity and power and potential, put him in the dark house. What will he do? He will punch here, he will punch there, he will punch there. Why? Because there are darkness.
Right.
He will punch everywhere. No, let's break this wall, let's break that wall. And he will just punch his hand, but not the wall. Why? Because he doesn't have that direction, he doesn't have that light. So when you want to give light to somebody, what you have to do, you have to just give him or her, first of all, food, cloth, shelter, but most important, education. Education comes and plays very important and vital role.
Yeah.
If a person, for example, I'm sitting over here. Earlier, what I used to do, I used to think my life is limited to bhains charana, graze the buffaloes, ya jalebi banana, ya mithai bechna. But when I got education, I started dreaming of my life something out of the box, and I start, ye bhi ho sakta hai, ye bhi ho sakta hai. So some person is begging, he is begging because he doesn't know कि इसके आगे कुछ और भी हो सकता है.
Sir. So
That's why they go to the illegal ways.
okay. So how this homelessness affect the mental health and the personal relationship of a person?
Much and more, much and more. For example, if I say, I want to meet you, and I will say, हाँ, come at footpath. Right? So what will happen there? ये फुटपाथ पे रहता, I will not go there, right? I'll give you an example. 3 दामाद हैं, एक ससुर और सास के पास. एक दामाद साइकिल से आता है तो उसको बोलेंगे बैठिए, बिस्किट खाइए और जाइए. एक दामाद बाइक से आता है तो उसको बोलेंगे बैठिए, थोड़ा और बैठिए, थोड़ा और बैठिए, थोड़ा मिठाई खाइए, फिर आराम से जाइए. एक दामाद कार से आता है, उसको कहेंगे बैठिए, आराम करिए, सोइए, पैर थोड़ा दबाते हैं आपका, चिकन में पनीर बनाते हैं और आप आराम से रहिए. दिस इज अ कंडीशन. द डॉटर्स, 3 daughters आर सेम, तीनों लड़कियां बेटियां सेम है, बट द दामाद कंडीशन एंड सिचुएशन डिसाइड्स द रिस्पेक्ट एंड द वैल्यू ऑफ द दामाद. तो सेम वे इफ यू कॉल मी एट फुटपाथ, रिलेशनशिप विल बी ब्रोकन. ए सिमरन, अरे तू फुटपाथ पे I will not come again now. She's living at footpath, so relationship will be broken. And again, you said one thing, relationship and
Mental health.
mental health. It will absolutely affect mental health. Resources give you mental stability. And if you don't have resources, ना your mental, कहते हैं दुनिया का सबसे दिमागदार आदमी ढूंढ के लाओ, तो मत किसी को मत ढूंढो, दुनिया में सबसे पैसे वाले को ढूंढ लो, वही सबसे ईमानदार है. The person who has more money, he or she is more minded. He is or she is more genius. You have so much mind. For example, Abdullah sir. Abdullah sir is so minded person. पूरा पैसा, पूरा इंस्टीट्यूट, सब कुछ लेके छीन के और उनको एक जगह डाल दो कहीं और बोलो माइंड यूज करो. I'll be zero. I'll have no mind. Why? Because I have
No.
nothing.
Right.
Money gives you mind, and money gives you thoughts.
So is has economy a vital role in reducing that homelessness in our society?
Of course, it does. For example, when the budget passes out from the Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, so budget is decided. Which this budget is going to be presented to this community, this society, this department or this niche, this sector. So there should be a proper budget, or there should be a minor budget for those people who are homeless. There should be budget for homeless people, old age people, orphans people, uneducated people, or BPL, below poverty line people, so that they can be benefited through these schemes. There are schemes. There are schemes, right? Jan Dhan Yojana, this Yojana, Mid-Day Meal Yojana, and all these Yojanas are there. But the problem is that mediocre people eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Those Yojanas and those schemes don't reach to the people, needy people who are needy. That is the exact problem you have to understand. So if those reach to the people, they will be fulfilled. And they will have their own lifestyles and good lifestyles.
Exactly. So is it possible that if we increase employment in our society, in our community, so homelessness will be decreases?
Of course. Through employment, you will gain money. And through money, you will have your own home. You will have your own houses. If I give you 20 crore rupees, what will you do? तेरी की बोल खलीफा में फ्लैट ले लें, या ये फ्लैट ले लेंगे, या घर बनवा लेंगे, विला बनवा लेंगे. You have 20 crore रुपए. अब आपको 20 रुपए दिया गया है, झोला में रख के 10 रुपए निकाल लियो, 10 रुपए रख रहे, राइट? 5 रुपए निकालो, 15 डाल लियो अंदर, तो you will have 20 ही रुपए अभी खत्म हो जाए. That is what the point is, right? If you have like 10,000 rupees और आपको 100 ग्राम जलेबी खानी है, will you think about that जलेबी? 100 ग्राम खानी है, 20,000 पड़ा है, लाओ ना 100 ग्राम दो दही के साथ. बट अगर आपके पास 10 रुपए 15 रुपए है तो जलेबी 100 ग्राम के लिए भी सोचना पड़ेगा, हो सकता है 30 रुपए की आती हो. That is what the point. Lack and deficiency, please. Lack and deficiency create a problem, and when you give employment, it will give resources, it will give money, and there will be no hopelessness and no homeless.
Okay. So being an individual, how can we help those homeless people on a personal level?
You can help them if you can afford a house or any shelter for them. You should do it. But if you cannot do this, at least educate one person, educate two people. That will be the best thing. I can say you are the real example, like Simran Mishra is an educated girl. Now she will have something in her mind, she can do at least something, right? She will never die hunger or hungry.
Right.
She will never die thirsty, or she will never die without home even. Why? Because she is educated. Your parents leave you, Simran do ja, जी ले अपनी जिंदगी. And you will be like, ठीक है मैं अपनी जिंदगी जी ले. Because you are powerful, you have education.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the important part.
So as I said that just you are saying that education is must. So do you think that if we give opportunity to those peoples, so they are able to change their life and tracks?
It may be there. Of course, there are chances. There are 2 points. One is that, a dog's tail are always zigzag. There is a saying, but I will not convert it into Hindi because it sounds very bad. So I will tell you that those people who are very deep into something, drugs addicted.
Right.
If you say कि मैं आपको डेली गुलाब का फूल लाके दूंगा, उसको आप स्मेल करो, will he or she quit drugs easily? No. He or she will be crazy or addicted for drugs. बस मुझे वही चाहिए. हाँ, like this. Alright. They will be crazy for their wine addicted, or that is called dipsomania. The addiction of drinking wine. What will he or she do? Oh, I need that bottle, vodka, rum, whiskey, or that alcohol. I need that, whether it's Elephant, whether it's Kingfisher, or whatever the brand is. Right, he or she will have that. That is called the addiction, that somebody can't leave it. But if he or she is aware of something, or if she is mentally stable, everybody would like to check. 99% population will be aware through your awareness programs.
Okay.
So you should give.
So accordingly, as we say that there are so many people in our India also who have changed their life. Like if I talk about Dhirubhai Ambani, APJ Abdul Kalam, Milkha Singh, and they start from zero and they become a billionaire, right? So how we can aware those people that if they can, then you can also.
Of course. It is all about, in case, for example, there is called transparency, or there is called that dreaming by reality or by being real. In case I'm not looking any water drop, I am in the desert of Sahara. मैं सहारा के रेगिस्तान में हूँ, and I'm not looking any drop of water. What will I think? I will die thirsty. मैं तो प्यास से मर जाऊंगा आज, क्योंकि मुझे एक बूंद भी पानी दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. जैसे मुझे एक तालाब दिखाई देगा, आई विल से अब तो मैं जिंदा हूँ, तालाब मिल गया, अब तो पानी, प्यास तो मेरी बुझी जाएगी, नहा भी लूंगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. When you can show something to the people, जब आप दुनिया में किसी को कुछ दिखा सकते हो, उसको ये एहसास करा सकते हो, this is possible, he or she will believe that yes. अब जैसे when you talk about Ambani, तो they will feel like Ambani, he was a different person. They can't see directly. That is the problem. They can't see. But when you say you are living here, you look that रमेश अंकल को देखो, रमेश चचा को देखो, कि आज से 5 साल पहले वो ठेला चलाया करते थे और आज उनके पास जो है 4 स्कॉर्पियो खड़ी है, 4 फॉर्च्यूनर खड़ी है. हाउ दैट हैपेंड? वो कैसे हुआ? वो रमेश अंकल को देख रहा है बचपन से, 5 साल से देख रहा है. बोले अरे यार सही बात है, इनको तो खाने को रोटी नहीं थी, ठेला चलाते थे, खींचते थे रिक्शा. नाउ आई कैन ऑल्सो डू, अब मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. तो when you talk about Milkha Singh, when you talk about big examples, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, or you talk about Virat Kohli, you talk about Sachin Tendulkar, they will be यार नहीं वो अलग थे, वो अलग नहीं थे, यहीं से गए. बट उनके लिए वो अलग है क्योंकि उन्होंने देखा ही नहीं कभी. आई विल गिव एग्जाम्पल. जैसे मैं, कोई आता इंग्लिश नहीं बोल पाता, तो आई विल गिव एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ लुक सिमरन मिश्रा. शी इज स्पीकिंग, शी इज डूइंग दिस प्रेजेंटेशन पॉडकास्ट एंड ऑल. शी इज नॉट गेटिंग ए टॉफी बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली. और है सो दैट इज द थिंग आई विल बी मेंशनिंग इन दिस, कि ऐसा है, और सिमरन को देख लो, तो दे विल बी मोर इंस्पायर्ड. योर रियल एग्जाम्पल जिसको देख सकते हैं.
Okay, so I mean, how can a government, what is the major role of government in this addressing homelessness? Because I think that government is the main thing who runs all over the country, right? So how government has the major role in this?
Government has a very big major role, because you see that all the schemes or all the awareness programs are launched and initiated, or evaluated by just government. That is why you have to understand that government plays vital role. If government wants, or government should do it actually, right? Government should take care of these problematic situations of the country, because this shows the hunger, this shows the poverty, and this shows the weakness of our country. If it shows to the international level, it shows that India is poor,
Right.
Nigeria is poor, Pakistan is poor, this is poor, like Albania is poor, Iraq is poor. So we should upbring and we should upgrade our own country and nation. So government plays vital role, and all the ministers should work for this. All the MLAs, Pradhans, MPs, Block Pramukhs, Sachiv, all should work on this.
So I just want to ask you that, do you have any personal experience regarding any person who once faced that situation?
I have that. So many experiences. One of the experience I would like to tell you, that one person was having 3 daughters, and he was having no home. He was like somewhere living here, somewhere living there, somewhere living there. It was in front of my eyes, and I could feel, I could sense it, ki how painful he has, how painful situation he has, like he is living with 3 daughters. Even I was not that much strong that I could help him that time, because I was a small, that time I was in class 11th or 10th. So I could sense it, that was a big problematic situation. 3 बेटियों को इधर से उधर, उधर से इधर, इधर से इधर लेके जाना, तो that is very painful. So I have sensed it and I felt very bad.
So accordingly, what are the misconceptions of homelessness, and how can we challenge those things?
See, homelessness is always about those people, like for example, if you talk about orphans, so orphans are brought up in the orphanage. After that, what happens that they are given freedom to do something. If they are well educated, they will do something, otherwise they will be out of orphans, and what will they do? That they will have no property, because there are no signature on the property.
Yeah.
Sometimes it also happens like, boy or someone leaves his or her home. Sometimes it also happens that, सम पीपल हैव अ वेरी स्मॉल हाउस और उनके पास 4 बच्चे पैदा हो गए। अब वो छोटा-सा घर है, अब उसमें से बाँटेंगे कहाँ? एक बच्चा पीते-पीते वो निकल गया, भाग गया गुस्से में, "हट मैं जा रहा हूँ कहीं, आई विल डू समथिंग दैट।" एक बच्चा और जो झगड़ा करके भाग गया, राइट? अब एक बच्चा वो जी रहा है, दोनों लड़ाई कर रहे हैं रोज़ और 2 भाग गए कहीं। अब इट्स अ वेरी स्मॉल हाउस और बहुत देयर आर मेनी झोपड़ीज़ एंड झुग्गियाज़,
Right.
तो वहाँ से भागते हैं लोग, फिर भाग के निकल के इधर-उधर कहीं मज़दूरी करते हैं, फिर आके कहीं पी के सो जाते हैं, कहीं पे फुटपाथ पे रहते हैं। सो दे हैव सो मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स एंड दे अब दे यहाँ पे 2 थिंग्स आर देयर, प्रॉब्लम्स है, प्रॉब्लम को और प्लस करने के लिए वाइन है। एक तो हमें अपने ज़हन पे की ताकत पता नहीं चली है, पता थोड़ा बहुत चलने लगी तो हमने उसको बंद कर दिया शराब पी के। अब शराब पिया सोए पड़े नाली के पास, फुटपाथ पे सोए पड़े हैं। अब आपको अपनी ताकत पता कैसे चलेगी? यू आर सरेंडर्ड, आप घर क्या आप अपनी ज़िंदगी नहीं बना पाओगे। दैट्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम।
Sir, how can we tell the general public about the struggle of those people who are homeless?
It's actually, big challenge, it's a big struggle, I could say that. So we should aware that, just imagine, I would like to say that stay hungry for one day. You will know the taste and the waste and the value of the food. Stay one day thirsty, you will know the value of water. For example, if I asked you that there is Karwa Chauth ka Nirjala Vrat, if somebody or any wife, we are not experienced. So if somebody is there that who will be keeping it like, वो कब से इंतजार करी चांद निकले और मेरे पति परमेश्वर आए जल्दी से मैं पानी पीऊँ। रमज़ान में हम रोज़ा रखते हैं 15-16 घंटे का, इट्स लाइक कि मगरिब की अज़ान हो ये शुड बी लाइक जल्दी से पानी पिए खजूर खा के। सो व्हाट इज़ दिस? बिकॉज़ 15 hours gap for taking a sip of water, and that is called gap and hunger and thirst.
Right.
So same way, how general people can understand this? उनको 3 दिन के लिए घर से बाहर करो और रख दो कहीं फुटपाथ। They will sleep, they will stay, they will sit and they will come to know the value of the
Money and
money and houses.
so if I talk about our generation, right? Students and the children don't respect the parents, don't respect the lifestyle they get, and they don't even respect the money also. I think we waste money more than using it properly. So how can we aware them about it that you have to be thankful to the God that what the lifestyle you got, what parents that you have a parents, and you have money also, that you are living a very sufficient life. Maybe you don't give a very luxurious life, but have a sufficient life.
Exactly.
So how can we aware them?
There was a great line and there was a great statement given by somebody कि मेरे दादा पैदल चलते थे, मेरे पापा बाइक से चलने लगे और मैं अभी आराम से लैम्बोर्गिनी में चल रहा हूँ, मेरा बेटा उससे भी अपग्रेडेड कार में चलेगा, मेरा पोता फिर से पैदल चलने लगेगा। क्यों? बिकॉज़ माई पापा मेड, मैंने उसको और मेड किया, मेरा बेटा फिर से एन्जॉय करने लगेगा, मेरे बेटा का बेटा एकदम से खराब हो जाएगा, फिर पैदल चले जाएगा, पूरा पैसा बर्बाद हो जाएगा। सो दैट इज़ व्हाट फादर माय ग्रैंडफादर फॉर एग्जांपल, तो ग्रैंडफादर कहाँ थे? गरीब में। ही वाज हैविंग द पॉवर्टी, ही पुश्ड हिमसेल्फ हार्ड, बनाया उन्होंने, कहीं जलेबी बनाया, कहीं ये बनाया, कहीं खेती किया, उन्होंने बनाया। पापा को थोड़ा-सा मिला, पापा ने और मेहनत की उसको और बनाया। अब हमें क्या है, हम यंग जनरेशन है, हमें तो मिल गया, वी गॉट एज़ अ गिफ्ट। अब फॉर एग्जांपल अब्दुल्ला सर इज़ स्ट्रगलिंग, तो ये बना रहे हैं, अभी 10 साल, 15 साल, 20 साल तक बनाते रहेंगे। हमारी औलाद, माय सन्स, माय चिल्ड्रन, एन्जॉय। पापा बनाए हैं, बस हैप्पीनेस का आ रहा है, रेवेन्यू आ रहा है, यूट्यूब से, इससे, उससे, एप्लीकेशन से, बस खाते रहो। That is the main problem. So young generations don't understand the pain and the struggle of the old generation or the previous generation. That is a big problem. That is a big challenge.
So I just want to know those steps which have to strictly we have to take to reduce these homelessness.
We have to aware, we have to give them shelters, and we have to just tell them the importance of life. We have to give them some lessons, inspirations, motivations, and we have to take them somewhere to those environments and atmospheres where they can sense, they can realize that how painful lifestyle we are having, how change we can bring into our lives, like this we can be. So through all these activities, we can just improvise them and improve them.
My last question is that how can we judge or how can we compare that the steps government has taken for those people or what we are doing, that these things are not temporary fixes, these are for proper fixes for them. How can we just
First of all, for example, there are so much barren lands, like which is called Banjar Zameen,
Right.
which is under the government of India. So, government of India should actually allot some of the lands and properties to these poor people. In case if you talk about the Delhi government, so Delhi government has launched a scheme that is called क्या चलाया है इन्होंने जो they are making some roadside or some sites of shelters and they are writing on that rain basera.
Rain Basera.
So rain basera they are having, right? So people come and they just and now there are two ways connection, दो way connection होता है. One is कि अब people come in rain basera, they misuse it. खाया वहीं थूक दिया, वहीं फेंक दिया, वहीं कुछ कर दिया, आग लगा दिया, जला दिया, कंबल उठाया, भाग गया. तो people, it's the fault of the people first of all. Another point is that जब people इस तरीके से करने लगते हैं, government also gets very lazy. अच्छा वहाँ से तो कंबल लेके भाग रहे हैं, वहाँ तोड़ रहे हैं, उसको बनवाएंगे नहीं. वो धीरे धीरे पान के डब्बे से और पान से और गुटके से वो ढप जाता है, भर जाता है. दैट इज एग्जैक्ट प्रॉब्लम. हम स्टार्ट तो कर देते हैं, सस्टेन नहीं कर पाते हैं. दैट इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम. मोहल्ला क्लिनिक, रेन बसेरा, ये जितनी भी चीजें हैं, स्टार्टिंग अच्छी थी बट बीच में दिक्कत हो जाती है.
Right.
टू वे कम्युनिकेशन.
Okay. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू सो मच.